Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make this delicious roast chicken for Christmas occasion, and also I'm going to show you how to make these lovely veggies and a very nice and delicious festival gravy. So let's begin with the recipe. So first take chicken bones of one whole chicken, then add it onto the baking tray, spread it out evenly, and then simply bake it for about 200 degrees until nice and brown. Then cut one carrot, cut it as shown. The size should be something like this, and then leave it aside. Then cut one onion, cut it in cubes and leave it aside. Then take 2 garlic cloves, roughly chop it and leave it aside, and then cut one celery stick and also cut one leek as shown. Leave all these aside to use it later. Then check on the bones and simply turn it around and bake it until nice and light brown. Please make sure you do not burn the bones. The color of the bone should be nice and light. Something like this when they are ready. And then add the veggies. Mix all together nicely. And then bake this again for 10 minutes at the same temperature for around 200 degrees. When it is ready, simply mix it all together. And then add all these in a cooking pot. Then add 10 grams of fresh parsley, 2 bay leaves, 6 sprigs of thyme and 3 sprigs of rosemary. Add everything in the pot. And then add 1 tablespoon tomato paste. Add water just about to cover all the veggies and the bones, about 900 ml. Pour some hot water on the top of the baking tray and remove all the leftover flavors, and then add it to the pot. Then leave this to boil, and when it starts to boil, reduce the flame and let it simmer for about 1.5 hours. Keep skimming the stock all around on the side, even in the middle. This means to remove the frothy scum on the surface of the stock. Then for the chicken marination, chop 3 sprig rosemaries as shown. Make sure it is nice and fine, and then add it in a bowl. Then take 5 sprigs of thyme, do it as shown, and simply chop it nice and fine. Add it in the same bowl. And for the marination, add 3 tablespoons melted butter. Add 2 tablespoons mustard paste. Then add 1 teaspoon coarse black pepper, 1.5 tablespoon honey. Add 1.5 teaspoon chicken stock powder. Add 2 tablespoons olive oil. And add the chopped herbs which you previously chopped. And then add half tablespoon rock salt. You can even add this more according to your taste. Mix everything together nicely. Make sure it is nice and smooth, something like this, and then leave it aside. Then apply the marination onto the chicken. Make sure you marinate the chicken very nicely. Apply it all around and even inside the skin as shown. This is a very important step. Make sure you marinate it very nicely. The flavor should reach all around the chicken and everywhere, even inside the skin. Then tie the chicken as shown. First tie the legs and simply turn around and tie a knot at the back near the chicken wings. Always the knot should be at the back, and then bake the chicken for about 200 degrees for 1.5 hours. Then when the chicken stock is ready, simply strain it and leave it aside to use later for gravy. Then to make the gravy, in a hot pan add 2 tablespoons butter. Then add 1 inch cinnamon stick, 1 star anise, 10 peppercorns, 3 cloves and 1 bay leaves. Fry for about 2 minutes. Then add half cup port wine. Boil it for 1 minute. And then add 3 tablespoons chicken gravy granules and add 1 teaspoon tomato paste. Fry for 1 minute. And then add 1 tablespoon red currant jelly. Fry for about a minute. And then add 600 ml of chicken stock. Make sure you add this little by little and mix it very nicely. Make sure it doesn't form any lumps. Add the remaining stock. Keep adding little by little. Make sure while you're doing this, keep mixing the gravy. Then allow it to boil. And then reduce the flame and keep mixing until nice and thick. Then add half teaspoon rock salt. Add more salt if required. The consistency of the sauce should be something like this. Make sure it is not too thick. And then strain the gravy. Consistency of the gravy should be something like this. This is perfect for gravy. Then keep water to boil. Cover it. When it starts to boil, simply add the Brussels sprouts. Add salt to taste and cook it for 7 minutes. And then once ready, simply remove it in a separate bowl. And then cut it in half as shown. Something like this. And then in a hot pan, add 2 tablespoons butter. Melt it nicely and then simply fry the Brussels sprout as shown, facing down. Fry this for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then add half cup chopped chestnuts and 1 tablespoon honey. Then simply toss it. It should look something like this. This is a perfect color, nice and caramelized. When it is caramelized, then add some rock salt to taste and then leave it aside. Then for the roast potatoes, cut 5 potatoes in large cubes and then add them in a boiling water. Then add salt to taste, cover and boil. Cook the potatoes for about 70% and when ready, simply transfer it onto the baking tray. and add some olive oil. Be generous with the oil, and then add some thyme and rosemary. Add some rock salt to taste and add 3 crushed garlic cloves, and then bake it at 200 degrees until nice and crispy. Make sure you keep mixing the potatoes after few minutes until nice and golden brown. Then take 4 carrots and cut in half. Then take 4 parsnips and cut in half. Then check on the potatoes. The potatoes should look something like this. It has nice brown color. Should cook something like this, nice and soft in the inside. Then in the same tray, add carrots and add parsnips. Add some olive oil, some rosemary and thyme, and add some salt to taste, some rock salt to taste. Then bake it in the oven for about 200 degrees, and then simply turn it around and bake it again for about 10 minutes. Then over to the roast chicken. The chicken is perfectly cooked. It has nice brown and goldenish color. Then simply serve it onto the large plate. Add all the veggies, potatoes, parsnips and carrots, and there you go guys. The recipe is ready. Do try it. And Merry Christmas, and I hope you enjoy the Christmas. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.